To headbang.
What's up, Hans family? Welcome to another day of Halloween. We brought to you, this is RAWBEAUTYKRISTI. You probably can't really see her beautiful face right now. I mean, this is her beautiful face. This is how she wakes up in the morning. But we did a Hellraiser collab. I did Pinhead. She did the Chatterer, which is so fucking fantastic. And so if you want to see my Pinhead, you know, just keep on watching. Obviously. Go check out Kristi's look as well, our little collab together, and subscribe to her channel. She's the shit. You guys probably already know all about her and everything too, and if you don't, what's wrong with you? You need to right now.
Do it.
With your little no lips moving. I will have Kristi's video linked down in the description below, so make sure to check that out. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's get to it.
Hope you enjoy it. Woo! Is that fine?
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to start off our sexy little Pinhead with the pins. Obviously. I found these wooden spokes at Michael's, just any craft store you could find them at. They were a little too long to be the perfect pin size, so I did cut them a little bit, not quite in half, but a little longer than half, I would say, just so that I had plenty of space to kind of stick them into the tape that we're going to do later. And after cutting those, I took a little bit of hot glue, just a little dab, and kind of circled it around to make a perfect little pin head at the top of each little wooden spoke. This does take a little bit of trial and error. It took me a few times to kind of master the perfect hot glue motion to get that nice little circle, but after you get it down, just do this all over your pins. After you have all those done, I just put them down on a piece of construction paper and just sprayed them out with some silver spray paint. Kind of move them around a little bit as you go so that you get plenty of spray paint all over every single one. Now that those are all done, ready to go, we are on to the makeup. Starting out with my bare face and just popping on a bald cap real quick. As I usually do, I take a little bit of liquid latex just to kind of blend out the edge of my bald cap so it goes nicely into my skin, so it's not just this sharp line from bald cap to skin. And now it's time to sketch out all of our little checkerboard Pinhead face. I'm using a Makeup Forever Aqua XL liner, and what I found was easiest is to start exactly in the middle of my face so that I was completely centered and then just go from there. Throughout the entire process, I am looking at a reference picture constantly. I draw a little line, I look right back down at the reference picture. I wanted to make sure it was as realistic as possible. Some of the lines kind of go out around the mouth a little bit. They're not just perfectly straight. But always keep in mind that you can kind of change it a little bit to fit your features a little more. Try to make the lines as close to the picture as possible, but again, take into consideration your own face. I forgot to glue down my brows, so I did that super quick. I have a full tutorial showing you how I do that. I'll link that down below as well. And I just continue drawing out all the little checker marks. Alright, so I tried this last year for last Halloween, and it failed miserably. I was like almost done, but I couldn't get the pins to stick up straight. So this year I wanted to try something a little different and tape each one down first. Kristi and I went to the store searching for the perfect tape, and we came up with this one, and this one worked actually super awesome. I would just take a little piece and then wrap it around one side of the pin, the littlest bit. Take another piece, wrap that on the other side just to make sure it was nice and straight up. And there you go, your little Pinhead alfalfa. And just keep going around your entire head. And holy shit, Kristi must have said something that was so shocking. I'm like, whoa! But with some of them, I ended up being able to kind of master my technique a little more and just use one piece of tape to really wrap around the entire pin and push down. You want the tape to be as close to the very bottom of the pin as possible. You don't want a huge mound of tape. And once I had most of the back part of the head done, I'm moving on to using some scar wax, which is from Graftobian, and tons of Vaseline. You're going to need all the Vaseline to lube up your fingers, okay? Wrap a little ball of wax around each piece of tape and start smoothing it out as you go. I'm dipping my finger into the Vaseline just so that it smooths down. Wax can be super fucking sticky, so adding the Vaseline onto your finger will help your finger to just slide right off that shit. And I'm using the wax to completely cover each piece of tape and also to start blending into the other mound that I have. Even though the tape that we just put down on top of the pins will help really hold them into place, adding that ball of wax around the base too, that shit ain't gonna go anywhere. Now with a palette knife, I am starting to draw out kind of the cuts, because between each pin, they have those cuts of the skin going in between. So I'm just starting to put those down and then smoothing out the edges just the littlest bit. Start with your next layer, putting down some pins and then some wax and drawing out the lines as you go. I found it was easier to work layer by layer because trying to get your little palette knife in after you've put every single thing down would be a little tough. When you start to really blend the wax down into each other little part, it really does start to give the illusion that these are squared off pieces of skin, just like Pinhead, and these lines we are making recede inward. It does take a little time because you're smoothing it out between each step. This is the most repetitive makeup I've ever done in my entire life. Holy fuck. But doing it this way, I assure you guys that my pins went fucking nowhere. They were there the entire time filming. I didn't have a single problem with them falling down at all. I did stop when I got close to my eyes because I wanted to get those done before, again, trying to fucking fit my brush between all these pins on my eyes. I used a little bit of Shape Tape from Tarte to conceal my eyes in a lighter tone so that they're already in prepped for eyeshadow. And then I just darkened my eyes with a little bit of a dark gray and black shadow mixed, focusing this more on the crease and popping in my sweet little mini black scaleras so I look like a creepy bitch, and deepening the crease just a tiny bit more with some straight black shadow. After you have finally put every single pin down, oh my lord, that takes forever, but it does look cool in the end. I picked up my banana powder, which is from Ben Nye, and I tried to go in with a fluffy brush, and I just decided to start spraying it all over my face, because I thought that would be a good way to set everything. And then I sprayed way too much into my face and was just choking on powder. Maybe just use a smaller brush. Moving on to the paint job, I'm using alcohol paints for this entire look. This is the European Body Art SFX alcohol paint palette, and I'm putting white all over the entire base of everything. Pinhead is obviously light as fuck, so I'm just using that to cover everything all over the face, and it works just fine on the wax and on your normal skin if that shows. Just don't go right near your eyes or like right into your nostrils or into your mouth. And grabbing the red in the palette, I am going in between all of the little cuts that we made earlier in the wax. Do this with a very small brush so that you can get in between every little pin because it is kind of hard to work around between them. You could, if you wanted, do some pins, paint, then another layer of pins, paint, pins, paint, you get it, but this worked just fine. I also added a little bit of black in the deepest part of where the cuts would be just so it shows that it goes downwards. And if you're doing this for Halloween, you want to do it around your whole head, so you may need a friend to help you. Kristi, beautiful little Kristi right there, is helping me out. And to make the cuts look a little more irritated, I took the mauve kind of pink tone in the palette and just added a little bit of color right around the cuts so that they, again, looked irritated as fuck. My Pinhead's a really nasty, creepy version, more so than a clean version. For the lips, I wanted to keep them pretty simple. I'm just going right in with some NYX cream color to whiten those out all over and darkening the edges and kind of inside the mouth a little bit with a dark red eyeshadow. Still with that dark red kind of brownish eyeshadow on my brush, I decided to contour out my chin so I was a little bit of a slimmer, not a moon-faced Pinhead, and I contoured the face just a little bit more too. After the application of the makeup, I threw on my costume from costumesupercenter.com. It's actually a Katniss costume from Hunger Games, but it worked out perfect for Pinhead since You know, he's all creepy with his leather and he looks like a boss ass bitch, so. Also, oh my god, my favorite part of this whole look is how short Kristi is next to me. I'm 5'7", Kristi's like 5 foot. So a little chatterer right next to a big pinhead is my favorite. And even in this shot, you can't even see her because she's so short, she's not even in frame. Oh god, it's my favorite. And that is the final look. I hope you guys like it so much. Kristi and I had so much fun filming this. Her chatterer is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It is my favorite look she has ever done by far. Please, you guys have to go check her out. She is so beautiful and talented and I love her with all my heart. I could just gush about her all day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me on all of my social medias. They're on the screen right meow. And just a reminder that I am running for Creative Makeup Artist of the Year in the American Influencer Awards, so you can vote if you would like to for me. I just love the absolute fuck out of you, and I will see you the day after tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
We are taking this up. Oh, are you doing it? Are you actually doing it?
This is gonna be so not fun to take off fully.
Oh.
Oh, it's kind of fun on the face. We'll do it on the face. It's
Like
like
on the
easy
face?
on the face, yeah. Oh, that's right on my
That was
eyebrow.
your
But no, just right on my
I
eyebrow.
took an eyebrow hair.
Oh, an eyebrow hair. How will I live?
Oh!
Ew.
Look at that. Yeah, look at your hair in the camera. Look at that.
Oh my god, it did! Well, they
So
all?
weird, it like...
That one did too!
No.
Wait, what?
Wait, that one
Oh,
broke.
that one just came out.
Hang on. Look at that. What's happening? Gonna go to the bathroom and clean up.